What's going on, Falcon fan? This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. So guys, one day away, the rookie's going to show up. Week after, the veterans show up. The season's about to get started. We're going to have a lot of time to talk about everything Falcons for season 2023. Camp battles, getting into the playoffs, winning the NFC South. Can't wait. I know you're excited just like me. However, today we're talking about the running back positions. Unless you've been hiding on a rock, you know that today was the deadline for some guys to actually get their long-term deals, and that's Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs with their respective teams was not able to come to a deal. So these guys want to go actually play on a franchise tag this upcoming season. And the question is, why are the NFL devaluing running backs? And did the Atlanta Falcons kind of buck the trend with the NFL going in that direction of the running back position? We'll definitely get in that today. And guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to this channel. Please hit the notification bell so you know I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys like to hear what I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So guys, this is really interesting this offseason because we know that the running back position has been devalued for years now. However, this season is really more, has shined a spotlight on it because there's so many guys that you can look at and say, wow, they're not even on a roster. And I'm talking about veteran guys that's still out there that they hadn't even signed. Guys like a Kareem Hunt, guys like a Zeke Elliott, guys like a Dalvin Cook, and guys like a Leonard Fournette. The interesting thing about all these guys, they're only like 27 and 28-year-old, right? And they're not coming off injured plague seasons where they couldn't finish the season and things like that. They was actually just cut because of salary situation. So right now they're looking for a home. I think all those four guys, Dalvin Cook probably will be the first one off the board, probably to Miami. It's looking like where he's training to go right now. But just looking at those four guys, of course they are big name guys. Maybe they're not as good as they used to be, in the earlier years, but they still productive guys. And it could just be all about the money. We know that's why they was cut, because they had too much of a price tag, going towards the salary cap for those teams. So they decided to let those guys go. All right. But in the case of guys like Josh Jacobs and Saquon Barkley, these guys really was, the reasons why their team had any kind of success at all on offense last year. If you look at Danny Dimes actually got a contract because of what he was able to do with a guy like Saquon Barkley. And we know Josh Jacobs had one of the best seasons of his career in 2022. But however, for some reason, neither one of those guys was able to get a long-term deal. And that's where we're at. So why are that the NFL and starting to devalue running back so much? I mean, first of all, if you look at it, because they have went to the two-back system, right? A lot of teams want to go to the two-back system. They want to decide we don't need a workhorse back. We're going to run two backs and things like that. So in that case, if they're going to do that, they feel like they don't have to go get a guy in the first round. They can go get a guy in the third round, guy in the fourth round, two guys, and then have those guys do what one guy that potentially could be able to do in the first round. So that's one of the reasons, but really what that really boils down to is the money, right? You think about it, if you get a guy in the third, fourth rounds, you don't have to pay them maybe like $1 million a year. But once you get a guy in the third round, you're going to be paying them, substantially a little bit more. So that's what it's all boils down to. If you look at the franchise tag this year for the running backs is at $10.1 million, which is really low for a guy that probably touches the ball probably second most on the team than the quarterback, right? They get 15, 20 carries a game. That's a lot of touches for a running back. but they only getting paid $10.1 million. That's the value that the running back's at right now. And if you think about it, it's been steady like that for like the last couple of years. I mean, if you look at an offensive tackle, look at a guy like Caleb McGarry. His franchise tag is going to be like $17 million. So the offensive tackle, and I'm talking about a right tackle, is getting $17 million franchise tag, and then the running back is getting 10.1. So it's really lopsided. And if you look at it, if you pull the onion back a lot, look at guys that's coming in high school and things like that, where they might decide, not to actually go the running back route because they're looking at how much money, a running back can make in NFL and the longevity of it all. Because you look at the guys I just mentioned earlier, 27, 28, it's hard for them to actually get on the team now and get paid. If you look at a guy like Miles Sanders, who got, signed early, he only signed a contract for like $6 million. So that's where the running back position is so devalued. And, it really sucks when you think about it. One of the things that can help the running back position, and this is where we're going to start talking about our Atlanta Falcons, but, the progress of the pass, right? That's where the league is going. More offenses starting to pass the ball a lot more. So when you're thinking about that, a lot of teams feel like, well, we don't need a running back, workhorse running back, because we're just going to pass the ball a lot. But then you have these running backs like a Bijan Robinson that's coming out, that's in the league today already, that have shown the blueprint how they could be utilized, right? You look at a guy like Christian McCaffrey, look at a guy like Austin Eckler, Alvin Kamara, right? Those guys, Tony Pollard is another guy you can look at that's utilized out the backfield in the passing game, that have create a lot of explosive plays, right? That's where we want to see Bijan utilized a lot. That's the reason why the Atlanta Falcons decided to pick him earlier, so early in the draft. So think about it in that aspect as when you start talking about money, right? Because if these guys can start to label themselves as a running back / receiver, will they up their values from that potentially 10.1 million to something a little bit more than that? At the end of the day, for any NFL player, it's all about the guaranteed money anyway. You can look at the value of each year annual contract, but what the player wants for the most is the guaranteed money. So however they structure the contracts and things like that is really going to come down to how much is guaranteed in their contract, because we know in the NFL, that's what it really boils down to. So in closing, at the end of the day, we talk about the value of the running back, the value of the running back. Why did the Atlanta Falcons decide to go ahead and draft a Bijan Robinson? And the one reason we can say, first of all, he could be one of those generational guys, right? Every now and then, it's a guy in the draft where you're gonna buck the trend. You're gonna go ahead and take him because you feel like he's one of one, right? He's not like another guy that you can just go out and get in the 4th round, in the 5th round. They feel like he was a guy that could change the game. He could be one of your franchise guys on the roster. That's why you go out and get a guy like Bijan Robinson. The same reason they picked a guy like Kyle Pitts, because he was considered one of one, a guy with his side, with his athleticism, his potential to play inside, outside, be a mismatch nightmare for defenses. That's why they went and got Kyle Pitts. The same could be said for a guy like Bijan Robinson, being able to run the ball as well as being able to catch the ball out the backfield, be a complete back on, being able to block and pass protection, being able to go out and catch routes like a receiver, being able to make guys miss, being able to create those explosives that I was talking about. That's the reason why they went and got a guy like Bijan Robinson. So when you ask, the Falcons organization, Terry Fontenot, Archie Smith about Bijan, they're going to say he's more than a running back. They're going to say he's an offensive weapon because that's how he's going to be utilized. Yes, he's going to be able to get carries. I talked about it the other day. He needs to have his carries. That's one of the things that we definitely want to see from Bijan Robinson. I think I said about 300 carries. Yes, but he's going to be able to touch the ball a lot because he's so explosive with the ball in his hand. Go back and look at some of the things he's able to do. Yes, he's still going to be sharing the backfield with a guy like Tyler Algier. That's good because you want to have so much wear and tear on the running backs. That's keep their longevity. And good thing about our team right now, we don't have to worry about that franchise tag for another 5 years. So we just want Bijan to come in, establish himself, stay healthy, knock on wood, right? Make sure that he can actually stay healthy and do the things that he could do. So when we do see Bijan, in his third and fourth season, he was all well worth it, right? And people can stop talking about, did the Falcons make a great decision? Did they make a bad decision? Or going to get Bijan Robinson at number 8, they was like, it was a great decision because he has lived up to all the hype, right? He put number 7 on. Everybody went crazy because that's Mike Vick old number, and we want to see what he's going to be able to do. Well, I believe that he can live up to the hype. Definitely got to stay healthy. Got to be able to strip the ball to all our different playmakers. But Bijan is definitely going to be a big factor in that. And when the Falcons decided to actually go out and pick Bijan Robinson, it wasn't about trying to buck the trend. They picked the guy because they had a vision for him and they felt like what they wanted to do and how they could utilize him. The same could be said with the Detroit Lions when they picked Jahmyr Gibbs, right? They had a vision. They felt like they knew how they wanted to utilize him. And really, at the end of the day, when you're bringing guys into your franchise, you want to make sure they're good guys on the field and off the field. And that's what the Atlanta Falcons saw in a guy like Bijan Robinson. The last thing I want to say is, for all us NFL purists out there, the running game is still a big part of the NFL, right? It really is. And people don't believe that. Just go and look at what the Philadelphia Eagles did last year. Go look what Atlanta Falcons did last year. I mean, when you could create 14, 10-play drives, right? You got to put points on the board, though. That's the key, right? You can't have a 14-play drive and kick a field goal. You have a 14-play drive, 10-play drive. You want to put 7 points on the board, right? And then you put your defense out there and they create a 3 and out. Just imagine the opponent's defense got to come right back out there after just doing a 14-play drive. That demoralizes your opponents. That's why I like, looking at games where, especially if you get in the fourth quarter and you want to use that time possession, it's still part of the game. I get it. I like the fact that they want to throw the ball all around, but at the end of the day, you're trying to win. You're trying to be able to control the clock. That's what I'm saying when I say NFL purist. That's what I like about, running the ball and having a well-balanced offense where you're going to run the ball and pass the ball. So hopefully that's what the Falcons get to this year. But when it comes to the running back position, that the Atlanta Falcons did not draft Bijan, trying to buck a trend or anything like that. They drafted Bijan because they believe he can actually be one of the most explosive players in this league this year and really help out this Atlanta Falcons team. So guys, that's all I have. Let me know what you think about, the NFL devaluing the running back position. And did the Falcons, in your opinion, decide to buck the trends and pick him at number 8 to go against the grain of everybody else? This is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.